So that's filming. That's filming. Make this family jump. Oh no, my bike's not even on. That would help, wouldn't it? There we go. Frighten the life out of the poor people. Right, just bear with me a second. So guys, starting the day, we've got Ryan over there from Rapid Training. He's going to take me out on the V-Strom. So what we're going to do at first is I'm going to go in front. We're going to go on a little ride. We've got the intercoms on, so Ryan's probably shaking his head at this cringiness right now. Yeah. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to ride, and then Ryan's going to watch, observe, and then we're going to pull up, have a chat. Now this is the Bespoke training, so basically I've told Ryan that I want to get better at overtakes, more confident with my planning, and he's going to advise me on how I can do that. Okay. Super, we ready?
Yeah, ready when you are.
Super. Awesome. So this left here. Wicked. It's always nerve-wracking when you got someone behind you. See, these are like my problems. Like, I think too long and then I just don't go, and then I just... But we could. Yeah, I'm genuinely not the most, like, I'm just too chill for my own good, but sometimes it is nice just to actually make progress and not be super bored. But I'm just murder for it. I think this guy's going faster than us. See, this is my problem with hesitating, right? So I probably would have gone to the front there, but then because I left it so long, my thought process is, well, if it changes and the car has to move out, then I've put myself in a position. So I'm just a queen of hesitation. So Ryan's gone in front. I think he is leading now since I have lost comms, and I think he's just showing me how to use all of the road, because I don't really do that, I guess. For it. That was my call to ride my own ride. can make it. Can't see because of the bushes, so I'm not going to do it. I do much prefer following to leading, much prefer it. I just like it when somebody else sets the pace.
So that first ride, talk to me about your overtakes.
Okay, so that's like one of the things that I wanted to work on personally.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a ditherer, like I never really, I know I should be going for it when I can, but I'd just rather go, oh no, I'll just sit back, and I never really end up making progress, so
Okay.
That's what I wanted to work on. I don't realise I'm doing this, but I get quite close to the cars.
Yeah.
So that it completely kind of limits me seeing as much as I can see in order to plan and make the moves to do the overtake.
And that's it, yeah. You're probably not at the point where following so close is a safety concern. You're not going to be ramming in the back of it, but you're really limiting your ability to read the road ahead. I think the first part of this to work on is going to be, let's just come back just a couple of bike lengths. You know, I'm not asking you to drag right back behind, but just come back, make that car or vehicle, van in front of us a little bit smaller, and just cast that view out as far as we can. Being able to read the road early, have it detailed, and just continuously rolling that vision on is what will really help us with that plan. When do you start planning your overtake?
Not soon enough.
Not soon enough.
Not soon enough. I don't know the technical sort of thing, but I know that, like, normally I am like a coil spring with my gears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like everything is ready with my gear wise, but I'm in the appropriate gear, but I'm not mentally at the right place at the right time.
Yeah. So what it looks to me is, you see the car, you want to come up to the car, you'll follow it for a little bit, and then we decide, oh, maybe I'll overtake. But we kind of, the fact that we've caught this car up, we're travelling a little bit quicker than it. So the moment we see that car, we're going to start thinking when, where, and how.
Yeah.
And with that when's the best place to get an overtake in?
Ideally on a straight.
Down a straight, everything's on our side, isn't it? You know, down a straight, he's going that way, we're going the same way, just a little bit quicker. After a straight, we'll probably go the next best bit.
I'd probably say maybe on a right.
Absolutely. Again, everything's on side. If we position speed and gear right, we get a nice bit of view and we can accelerate out after it. I mean, I say that's the next best one, but it's actually, I think it's a better feeling coming out of that right-hand bend on the power and off we go. Yeah,
it's definitely like satisfying to sweep round on the right and do just be ready until you know you can go, and then just wind it on. So.
What about left-hand bends?
Left-hand bends, there's a few good ones in the Peak District where you can kind of see for days, there's no bushes, no hedges, and then you can kind of commit, but maybe like that's like the last kind of overtake I'd want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to say never or always, but they're rarely worth it.
Yeah.
The risk of, you know, losing that view ahead as we go past the cars, we start sort of taking that first step out into the side of the road.
Yeah.
We lose so much of the view of the road ahead for quite a bit of time. It's not to say that they're not on. You know, if all the ingredients are there, then it is doable.
Yeah.
But what I sort of ask myself is it the best way? Because after a left-hand bend, there's only one of three things: a straight, another left, or a right. And two of them help us with our overtakes. What's your thoughts on junctions and hazards on the road ahead as we're thinking about our overtake?
So, like personally, I like to think I'm on the ball, but sometimes like when we were just riding then, I felt like I missed like maybe a few. So I'd come out to do an overtake, and there was an instance where there was a motorbike and he was coming to turn right.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to make the best out of a bad situation by keeping out so that he could kind of see me maybe.
Yeah.
and thankfully it didn't go wrong and I got away with it, but it's not ideal. Like, I shouldn't be overtaking where there's any kind of junction where a car can
Of course, yeah. I mean, yeah. The ideal is not to overtake across a junction. You know, the most dangerous part of motorcycling is going to be the bends, the junctions, and the overtakes. We're getting 2 in already. Yeah. In that scenario, it's that there is. I mean, the planning is almost on point. You look at the road. Hey, it was all great. It's your ability to interpret the road ahead. There would have been, without going back, and there would have been advance warning of a near side junction. There probably would have been the fingertip post. I don't think you're missing it. You're just not asking your question. What does it mean to me? And the fact that it was on, and to make the best out of a bad situation, you kind of pushed out. You did something which is often better than doing nothing. But also we could have just gone. Shut it down, cancelled the overtake because we committed maybe a little bit early on the gas.
Yes, I think so.
Generally speaking, there's sort of 2 overtakes. There's the staged overtake and then the sort of momentum overtake. That was more of a stage one. We'd caught the car up. We sat with it for a little bit. And you know, one of the stages is going to be is stepping out, having that view good enough that we can see that the road immediately ahead is nice and clear, so we can step out onto the other side of the road. We almost have a little pause. Is this on? Have I got all I need to make the overtake? Is it safe? Is it legal for a start? You know, they're the first 2. Then after that, am I going to get it done in time before the next bend, the end of the road, the junction, whatever it is ahead? And if it is, absolutely crack on, let's go. But if it's not, it gives us the ability to just step back in sideways rather than accelerate into it, realise it's not on, getting on the brakes, trying to get back behind the car, and it all becomes a little bit carnage.
Yeah, because I think that's something that I'm quite guilty of, is like when I do commit to an overtake, I'll kind of like accelerate up and then come out to go round, as opposed to just, you know, maybe coming out that little bit, assessing whether I can do it, because like you say, in that pause moment, if it's not on, you can tuck in.
And that's it. And we're just moving left. We're almost not adjusting our speed. You know, if that car's doing 50 in a 60, you know, we're just going to almost matching its speed, and we're just coming out. And if it's not on, there's no great shakes but out coming down the road. And then we're out. If it's not on, so it might be on after this junction, after this bend, so we can set it all up, come out again. And if it's on, we're in the position, speed and gear is right, bosh, let's go. Let's get it over and done with. Yeah, picking our landing point. Don't forget to have that, you know, some people call it you never leave safe tarmac without having safe tarmac to come back to. And you know, we're going to be timing this overtake that we come in. And while we're doing it, don't forget to read the road ahead. So we can stay nice and wide for those lefts or whatever it's going to be. The other one being the momentum overtake. So biggest difference here is, instead of catching up that vehicle, we might be hundreds of metres back and we'll step out onto the other side of the road. We might already be on the other side of the road and we're just going to come up to it. We're not going to race up towards it. We're not going to charge it down. But almost that point where we would step out on the stage, we might just ease off, have that thought process. Is this definitely it? Is this where it's happening? Because if it's not definite, then we can just pull in. Job's a good one. If it is on, we can just carry on with our momentum overtake and just get it done. Really, really good for when you start picking out 2, 3, 4 cars at a time and just staying out that really good feeling of, oh, this is going really well.
So with a staged overtake and a momentum overtake, would you say like there's a type of rider that will prefer one of the other? Or?
I'm sure some people, you know, I've heard people, I really enjoy the momentum ones because it seems seamless.
Do you think that a momentum one might come with more experience?
Yeah, it takes a bit better planning. You know, it does. That car is now in the distance. You know, like I say, it could be hundreds of metres away, and we're already thinking about it. It's one thing acknowledging it's there, but all right, when is it now? We can go out and just being comfortable. It's some people out there don't agree with it. Being comfortable riding on what people refer to as the wrong side of the road. You know, if it's safe and legal, let's get out there. Let's keep a view we've already got, and that was just one less thing to do.
Definitely.
So we can just start. You know, that car that we're going to overtake is only ever going to be slightly to our left, so we can just see past it. You know, so opening that view all the way. I personally like a stage one. I like the feeling of almost having to earn it. You know, that's my thing. You know, I'm the type of rider that if I'm following a car into a right-hand bend, in my mind, I'm already starting to get that Rubik's Cube of a overtake, getting all those ingredients together. So when I come out of that right-hand bend, it's on, and all I'm looking for is a reason not to. That could be solid white lines continuing, oncoming cars, junctions, whatever it might be. But if it's not on, just let them crack on. You know, I just hold my position, let the car accelerate away, give me that time, and do it that way. So I think what we'll do next is maybe I'll jump on the bike, lead the way, and try and show you how it's done.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Nothing to bloody overtake. Yeah, target fixation. Head on with a sheep. Left. Clear. Where would you like me to go? Oh, wherever the van goes? Okay. Oh, he's lost something. Wow, it's amazing actually when you drop back how much more you actually see. Boo. Oh, right then left, so. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get collected by anything. I can't let me clutch out quick enough. Nice. Like following this kayak, which is making moves. Quite narrow. Yeah. They like to keep you on your toes, don't they?
Okay, after that ride, talk to me about those overtakes then. What was the difference between those ones and the one after your first ride?
So I feel like there was a lot more planning that I did in that ride just then. I'm still not perfect, don't get me wrong, but just really trying to use as much road as possible to really see when you can go for it.
Yeah.
But it's also about like the details of the bigger picture, like you mentioned on the intercom, because sometimes I'm so fixated on like trying to get past the two cars that there's like a solid white coming, and there's no junction, there's that.
Yeah.
So
you're looking for the big stuff. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
you know, it's far from ideal to go anywhere near that sort of crossing the solid white line, but the planning comes with practice.
Mm-hmm.
And to get better planning is that reading the road. You've pulled yourself back from those cars 2, 3, 4 bike lengths at times, and just letting it happen. You know, we discussed on the intercom is we're not going to overtake in the solid, so let's give it a bit of room. You know, don't put the pressure on it. But then we've got the advanced warning of a right-hand bend. It's like, where's the solid going to end? Most likely after a hazard. So maybe we'll pull up a little bit, get ourselves out of position, speed gear, come around that bend.
Yeah.
If it opens up and it's on side, happy days. If not, we just let it go again.
I found a few instances when I was riding where like I was conscious, I'm a bit close, drop it back a bit. So even though I wasn't doing it consistently, I'm glad that I'm recognising that I'm doing it, dropping back and then understanding how much view it opens up.
Yeah. I mean, you said it yourself, but if that was just that, I think we're behind the bus, wouldn't we? I mean, you just pulled back, you're like, oh my God, look how much I can see.
I know.
That's part of what we aim to do. You know, there's only so much we can cover in a day. But to go away from here and, you know, get that, there's something not quite right. You know, oh, I'm a bit close, pull it back, and then, you know, it'll become, you know, more instinctive that you just end up in the right position.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reading the road, how we find it with seeing it so much earlier.
Yeah, I found like as the day's gone on, I am starting to see it earlier.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, some of them I don't go for because sometimes I'm not necessarily in the right gear because
Yeah.
I'm just like dawdling along, not realising I'm in sixth when I could really be in third. So I'm like ready to spring
Yeah.
because these things they've got a bit of torque, but when you're in sixth, they don't like it. Blah, blah, blah.
Jumping on and off different bikes, you know, that position speed gear, that gear thing's always going to be, is it the right one? So it's getting to know the bike, but yeah, just being in that position that, you know, all that right gear, that it's got some go and some slow. So yeah, just hold on to it. So when we do decide to go, we haven't got to put it on and come on. You know, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, it's good to have a bit of mechanical sympathy, of course. But on that, if we think it's going to happen, that position, speed, gear, I'm in the right place, I'm at the right speed, is my gear in the right bit? Have I got the view? Is it safe and legal? Let's go. Let's get it done. It was a really nice multi-car overtake as well. I think we did the 2 and the 3.
Yeah.
You know, that was they're hard work, and they show a bit of patience because you've got to hold back, you've got to wait. Yeah, and we had the discussion on the comms where we did the car turned left, we had a car waiting, and it stopped because it was a narrow junction. It was, what do we do?
Yeah, because I kind of just like weaseled around there, but I think in hindsight it probably would have been safer maybe to stop.
Yeah.
But
were we dragged into it because maybe we were just
too close.
Yeah,
100%,
definitely. I mean, you know, I'm sat at the back, you know, you could sort of see the car waiting, could see it was okay, but maybe that little sort of relatively neatness and that, you know, having a more professional look to our riders, just to hold back a little bit, and then when it's on, let's get it done. So no, really, really nice. What's your thoughts on your lines now and your positioning through the roads?
trying much more to, like when we're going round a right-hander, to be in that one position which is more near the curb so that you can just get that better field of view. And we came up to an example where there was like was it a Range Rover?
Yeah.
And she was like just taking all the road up, and if I'd have been in position 3, that would have been like quite difficult to avoid, really.
Bit of a moment.
Bit of a squeaky bum
Yeah.
moment. But because we were to the position 1, I was quite grateful that I was following you, because obviously I'm following your line, and it did show the importance of that road positioning.
Especially on those narrow roads, it kind of, it feels to us, it makes more sense on the big wide roads because we gain so much view.
Yeah.
But when we consider the safety that on those narrow roads, we need to be nice and tightly over. And much like when we go onto those lefts, we talk quite often, we've talked about using the wrong side of the road, the other side of the road. There's a certain point where that becomes dangerous. So there's an element of knowing that adds that view just before it starts to deteriorate. Let's get safely on our side of the road. And if we've got to reduce speed because we've got reduced view, that's fine, just shut it down. We can go around the left-hand bend on those really tight ones. What's he doing? Yeah, we can go around those left-hand bends, those really tight ones, in that position 1. But, you know, if it's that tight, but it's got to be really, really reduced speed. You know, there's no point in being nice and wide, seeing it, but not having the time to do anything about it, because, you know, if it's going to happen, I'd rather not know about it.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Lines through the bends, nice and tidier, you know, a bit more discipline, holding it a little bit later.
Yeah. Trying.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it? It's getting used to...
It's all the bad behaviours that you've learned, but you didn't necessarily obviously know that they were kind of bad and not right when you've not been doing it. So that's why training, like, just do as much as you can as soon as you can. Like, don't wait. Yeah,
you know, the time is now, whether you've been riding a year or 10 years or 30 years, you know, if it's now is the time.
Yeah.
You know, going into that other side of the road, because we've talked about it today and you've seen it, you can see you want to explore it. We don't go looking for the view, we don't go hunting for it.
No.
If we've got it, keep it. Yeah. Absolutely keep it. You know, if you can see as far around the bend as you physically can, that's great. Yeah. But as we get closer to the bend, we go, ooh, it might be better over there. Don't then go look. We end up goosenecking those turns.
Because I did do that a few times, thinking that was the right thing to do. And then the more I think about it, it's like, well, it's pointless swinging out and then having to come back in if something's coming. You might as well just commit to the fact that you weren't out, and then just position yourself a bit better next time when the next bend comes. Yeah,
definitely. You know, there's, you know, that you know, people refer to it as all sorts offsiding, but riding that other side of the road is, you know, it's got to be safe and legal, and we've got to be getting a benefit from it.
Yeah.
The moment we haven't, let's just get on our side of the road. Yeah. No, we're only travelling at 60.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, no, really a good improvement. And I think what we'll do now is we jump on the bike and go and find some more overtakes.
Yes, sounds like a plan.
Cool, 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 cool.
Super.
Cool, 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 cool.
Well guys, I have just finished my training with rapid training, and I tell you what, I have had a hell of a day, like in a good way. So I feel like I've learned so much. I feel like I've taken on board a lot of valuable things, really. So the day has been absolutely brilliant. It's been great just having somebody, you know, look at your riding from obviously not your own perspective. So with my riding, you know, I'm not a know-it-all. I don't think I'm the best rider on the earth. I am just your everyday rider. I've been riding 14 years, but doesn't mean you know everything. You learn ways that you think are perfectly fine, and you know what, they will probably see you through life, like my riding style has done with me. Haven't had too many unfortunate events. But when you do this kind of training, like this rapid training has really taught me things about looking as far as you can, reading the road, reading every hazard, you know, that you might come across. And it's taught me a few things. It's taught me I ride too close to cars, which I always kind of thought I didn't do. But when you actually do just take it a step back and just drop back a few bike lengths, you really do realise how much more you can see. I can feel myself now actively like looking so much further ahead and just seeing the whole picture. My road positioning, I think it's going to stand me in really good stead for my IAM training. You know, just really using as much of the road as you need to get the best vision possible so that you can plan better. Because ultimately it's all about planning. So I know my instructor Ryan, he probably doesn't even want naming because he doesn't think it's about, you know, like knowing the trainer. It's just about the training. Like, he doesn't want any kudos or anything, but he's been absolutely brilliant with the bespoke training. He asked me what I wanted to achieve. I told him what I wanted to achieve. He also observed my riding to find things that I wasn't aware of, make me aware of them and how to better them. And he's kind of given me the tools and the knowledge and the theory, so I know what I have to do. The hard thing is putting it into practice. You know, 14 years of doing something habitually is hard to change, but I'm glad that now at least I have that conscious awareness of how to improve and better my riding. So yeah, it's been an absolutely amazing experience. Knowing now what I've learned and stuff like that, I think it's invaluable. I'm very grateful that, you know, rapid training allowed me to do this bespoke training with them, and I genuinely can't wait to put it into practice and just be a better, safer rider. With that said, I'm going to end the video now. But yeah, I'm riding home back to sunny Bolton. It's been a cracking day weather-wise, and I'm riding back with a real big smile on my face because I feel like today has been really worthwhile. I got so much out of it, and I'm excited to put it all into practice on my daily rides and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you very much, Ryan, and thank you very much, Rapid Training, for getting this organised. It's been a brilliant day. Guys, if you're interested in rapid training, I'm going to put some information in my description on my YouTube, on this YouTube video, sorry. And I'm also going to link their website. They don't just do bespoke training, they do like roadmaster training, they do a bit on track, stuff like that. So yeah guys, back to the boring bit. If you guys have liked this video, please subscribe. I ain't too proud to beg. But But yeah, your subscriptions and everything mean so much. The comments, the likes, I'm super grateful for them. So yeah, until next time guys, take care of each other and ride safe.